we started seeing some of the indigenous people that we were gonna spend the day with, which was really cool. They were dressed in traditional garb. They had like coverings over everything and like were super bright colors and really cool. Good stuff. That's super unfortunate.
Wait, this is perfect.
Yeah, okay, so what just happened there is every like 15 minutes, our electricity, the room thinks we're not here doing anything, so it shuts off the lights, shuts off air condition.
Sustainability.
Sustainability, first and foremost, make sure you get the lights off.
The mission of Cathalac is to promote sustainable development in Latin America and the Caribbean through applied research, education, and transfer of technology. Yesterday, we started the tour with the students, the TCU students, with the lower part of the Juan Diaz watershed. We saw that the lower part was very highly populated, a lot of concrete, not a lot of green areas, not a lot of recreational areas. We learned from our guides that this is a more area of prone to risk because it's a flat area. So there's more risk for flooding. There's a loss of mangroves. And also there's a lot of social conflicts in these areas. To set up a meeting with one of their community leaders, his name is Mr. Gregorio Perez. He has been living in Villalobos. It's the middle part, as I said, of the Juan Diaz watershed for the last 70 years. So he's a great man to talk to and to learn about the different impacts that this community has been going through the last years. He talked to the group a lot about the river. He explained to the group how the water was so abundant, the river was so full, and over the years, right now, it's becoming much lower. We allow the students to observe that and to get that perspective from Mr. Gregorio.
Hacia allá el río y que pudieron decir, este río era majestuoso, mucho más grande, mucho más ampliado, era un río de mucho cuidado cuando vivía mucho allá arriba en las montañas, pero ya se está quedando escuálido, como es la palabra, ya no tiene la misma. ¿Por qué? Porque las aguas de la ribera de los ríos se van agotando cada día más. Y es lo que nosotros hemos venido percibiendo de que mientras las montañas se acaben, mientras las montañas se desmonten y todo venga para acá, cada día nuestro río se va acabando más.
We went up to see the projects that are currently going on. So it was interesting to see how this rural community is basically in a community in transition from becoming rural to becoming an urban community. Modernization is coming into the community, big projects are coming into the community, and how that is affecting the community itself and the river.
Nosotros estábamos allá abajo, ¿eh? Aquí abajo estábamos nosotros, por aquí más o menos.
And living conditions aren't that great. There's trash everywhere and the water is contaminated. The trucks that drive through the river, there's diesel that comes out of the trucks that gets into the water, and there's just dust and dirt and trash, and it's making life kind of miserable for these people, and they don't know what to do about it.
They're an excellent group. They're 6 students from different backgrounds, which makes it much more interesting. We always think that, having a multidisciplinary group and having these different minds working together on one topic makes it much more interesting, because each individual is bringing something new to the table, something else to the table. It's not, 6 students coming from a specific area working on the same line. We always think it's much more interested. Here also in the Division of Education in Catholic, we have, different minds working on the same goal. We have international affair people, we have engineers, environmental engineer, we have an anthropologist, we have a sociologist, watershed expert. So the more, multidisciplinary you get, it makes it much more interesting.
Just kind of the contemplative picture here in the classroom. We were dealing with some tough issues that we don't encounter every day in the United States, and to wrap our heads around that and then go to lunch later in the open air pavilion and discuss amongst ourselves and discuss amongst the other groups real world issues that are affecting people today, not just here in Panama but across the globe. And because we're all humans, we're all encountering those issues, and that's why a place like the City of Knowledge is so awesome, because people can come from all over the world and tackle those common issues together.
It's starting because because they don't have voices, that they don't have power in their community. Let's speak about the more indigenous or rural population, that where the problem are. They got problem of sexual abuse, sexual violence at 10 years old. In Panama, one babies over 2 almost come from a teenager. Like their mother is a child, like at 15. It's not all the time rape, but the girls have their babies at 15. So how can you provide a good education, social, everything if you are a baby, you are a child? Because if this woman after that have the education, can grow their business, like we can give them tools about business, and can give this message to her children after, as a way to come to reach sustainability, to break the cycle, because all the message are given by the woman because of their role in the family. So what we are thinking about, go in this kind of rural community and fight against discrimination and fight against like your problem to have finished your educational cycle.
Well, during the trip, we had an opportunity to see a lot of, tropical birds. I think it's always like a trip of discovery, because you don't know what you're going to see. So, for example, in the parking lot, we saw some toucans.
Monkeys!
Oh, yeah. We haven't seen them around in our backyard for quite a bit.
Yes!
Maybe they're here.
Look at them! Look!
Yeah.
Look! Right there! Monkeys!
I don't know if they're capuchins.
They're not capuchins, are they?
Yeah.
Or spider.
No,
They're
they're
spider.
like titi.
Yeah, or titi, mono titi.
Oh, I see.
Cappuccinos.
Where is it? Where is it?
And the interesting thing I noticed was that the students were now sort of opening their eyes and starting to look themselves for things, and they're actually very good spotters.
Oh, he's sitting right there.
Yeah. Hold on.
One of the students noticed that there was a hummingbird nest very close to the trail, so it was probably not disturbed, even though it was close to where people are normally walking. The mission of Wetlands International is to conserve wetlands for the benefit of nature and of people. So hawks and vultures. So in November, yeah, guys like this. But in November, there's like millions that come from, from all the U.S. and Canada down to the south, to South America, and they pass through here, but they sort of follow corridors. The richness of the wetlands in the tropical areas is immense. Wetlands play an important role in being the habitat for a lot of important species, where it's fauna, where it's flora, water birds, insects, even microorganisms. So when we lose those environments, those habitats, then we lose the richness of biodiversity. Again, it has an intrinsic value in itself, biodiversity does, but there's also benefits for human beings, and that's what we have to understand.
We talk about wetlands and some of the ecosystem services that they provide, but we've never really gone in depth to a specific country. So we're learning about Panama and the effects of flooding, especially because their development on the coastal areas. They're raising the elevations so that lower elevations get flooded more often, which happen to be where the poorer communities are located. So it's interesting to see some of the effects that it has on that. And also, when we went to the water treatment plant that Jimmy's going to talk about, they talked about how those people actually believe that the reason that they have flood is because of the water treatment plant channelizing water, not the mangrove destruction, which is actually happening because of the commercial and business aspect of the city.
That they're now more curious about issues that maybe they had not thought about before, and I think that's part of the idea, to get them engaged in the mid to long term with some of the issues that they've been exposed to, whether it's here in Panama or back home in their own context.